How to make a basic castle with 123D design. This is Alice Gentili, and I'm just going to walk you through the first steps in the process of designing a basic castle. As you can see here, what we've designed is just the castle walls and then a tower with a dome top. The first thing you want to do is download 123D Design by Autodesk from the App Store. It is free. So you're going to download that to your iPad and then open it up. Once you open the app, you're going to find a basic menu of, on the left, tools. In the middle, you'll have a blank build board, and to your right, you're going to have a shape selection. You have to pull the handle from the right to the small gray line, the vertical line in the middle of that shapes bar. Pull that out and you'll have a palette of shapes to work with. This is part of the primitives collection. To make our basic castle, you're going to choose the duct shape from the right hand side just by touching it and then dragging it over to the build board. It will be placed on the build board, except the hollowed out section of it is going to be facing the wrong way. So we're going to use the rotate tool on the upper left to drag it and flip it so that the open area is parallel to the build board. So if you just grab one of those sets of white handles, you can flip the shape over and get it into position. Unfortunately, now that we flipped it, the duct is cutting through the build board. So we need to use the move tool on the upper left side and grab one of the arrows and drag it up or pull it up so that the duct is actually sitting on the build board, not cutting through it. This is what it looks like when you've raised it up and attempted to sit it on the build board. Unfortunately, it's a little bit unlevel. As you can see, there's a gap at the bottom. We'll go over and tap the rotate tool and grasp one of the little white arrows in order to level our duct onto the build board. At this time, the shape or the duct is a little bit small on the build board. We're going to use the scale tool on the left side to make it bigger so that it fits more of the board. In order to maintain the aspect ratio, or it is a square and we want to keep it a square, hold on to one of the white squares and pull that, and as you do, it should get larger on each side. The shape is easier to work with if it's a little bit larger like this. I want this duct to actually become the outside castle walls of my basic castle. And at this point, the walls are way too tall for my liking. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the light blue rectangle to make the wall shorter. So it's a small light blue strip in the middle of the two white squares. And if you pull any one of the blue ones, the light blue rectangles, it will pull the shape in that direction, and it will not maintain the aspect ratio. I think that's a better height for my castle walls, and I can then use the move tool in the upper left just to drag the shape onto a part of the build board where I can see it well from all sides. Next, we want to add a tower to our castle, so we're going to go ahead and select the tube shape and drag it over and sit it on the castle somewhere. When you drag the tube over, it may position itself facing the wrong way. And if it does that, you're just going to use the rotate tool to flip it end for end so that the open hole within the tube is vertical. Once it's facing the right direction, you're going to use the move tool to drag it to the corner of the castle so that two sides will intersect it. Now that we've got our tower all squared away, let's add some kind of a peak to it. On this particular castle, I'm going to use a dome just because I've been using a lot of pyramids and cones to top off my turrets. And just for fun and to give it kind of a different look, we'll go with a dome this time. Select the dome from the primitive tools on the lower right and drag it over to the workspace. As you can see, the dome is a little bit crooked. We're going to use the rotate tool to rotate it into position and make the bottom of the dome parallel to the billboard. Once we get it fairly parallel to the billboard, we're going to use the move tool and drag one of the little black arrows over to pull it over on top of the tower. It's really nice to be able to flip the board with one finger in order to be able to see where things are lining up from all different sides. In this case, yes, we got the dome parallel as far as we can see, but there's a little gap as it's dragged over on top of the tower. The easiest way, we could finagle with this and get it to line up perfectly. It would take a little bit of time. The easiest way to do it, though, is to make it larger. And I kind of want a lip around the edge of it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and use the scale tool to make the dome a little bit larger. The dome is in the approximate position of where I want it to be. I'm making it a little bit bigger, and I'm doing that just by using the scale tool and then holding on to one of the white squares to pull it out and to make it larger. If I were to use one of the blue bars instead, it would pull in only one direction. So I would end up with kind of an oval dome, which is not the look I'm going for right now. Move the billboard around so that you can see under it and then from every single side as well as on top. And make sure that that dome is in position. As you can see, when I looked at this particular side view, I noticed there's a gap between the dome and the tower. I'm going to use the rotate tool to fix that and have it be level with the billboard. Yeah, I can see from here as I'm looking up from underneath that this works so much better. And I also like the dimension of the dome compared to the tower. I like the lip underneath there. And I think for 3D printing, there's enough of a lip that it's going to work out, yet not so much that it will become a problem. I want to position my dome. I like the way it fits. I like where it's situated, but I think it was a little bit too tall. So I'm going to use the scale tool to flatten it out a little bit and make it more compressed. So when I click on the scale tool, these guides appear, the white square, the blue lines, but also the yellow square. If I drag that up or down, it will make the dome taller or shorter. So I'm going to pull it down and make it a little bit flatter. I'm happy with this basic castle. Had I more time, I would add turrets. I would add some blocks along the side. I would add a doorway, a ramp. I could add another shape and make a moat. I can do whatever I want to this castle, but for right now, we're just keeping it really, really basic. So let's call it done. And when it's finished, I'm going to save it to the iPad, and I'm going to save it to the cloud. We have, the Misco Maker Crew has a cloud account, and this model would automatically go up and be on the website as one of our models that could be downloaded by anybody. I'm mentioning saving now, but as you're working, it's a good idea to save on your iPad. I have experienced some glitchy moments where suddenly the app will just close, and you can't be guaranteed that your design will be there when you return if that happens. So it makes sense for every step of the way to save to the iPad. Once we save the design or the model to the iPad and to the cloud, we can go ahead and close the app, and we're all set. We then go online and pull the model down from there, downloading it as an STL file. So we've barely touched on the process of making a design. We've made a nice basic castle. Chances are we'd add more to it. And there are 4 other tools that we haven't even touched on, including the grouping tools, the shearing tools, the color tools. And at this time, we'll just say there'll be a sequel for that part. For right now, we've made good progress. And I just want to remind you that 123D Design is made by Autodesk, and explain everything is made by Morris Cook.